Okay, we're back for our daily NBA predictions and best bets. Doing this video earlier today because the odds are out, obviously, and Thunder Nuggets Game 7 is at 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon, which I don't entirely get, but I guess because they're playing again on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, the winner of this game gets the Timberwolves in just 2 days after, so they're trying to get this game out the way early, so that's why I'm posting this video here on Saturday night. But Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, winner go home, a huge spot, and before we get into the best bet and prediction, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets. No video tomorrow, obviously, but we will be back on Tuesday again with the Western Conference Finals, and then on Wednesday for Knicks Pacers Game 1. The Pacers are going to the NBA Finals. They just are, and they're probably winning it. But anyways, folks, make sure to go check out our MLB best bets. We already posted our video for today. Obviously, same thing going on here on the channel tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Make sure to go check that out. UFC, if you're watching this video right now, the main event's like probably on right now. So yeah, Greedo plays MMA. Go subscribe though. Okay, one and only game today here on Sunday. I'm going with the Thunder to win, but I'm going to stop fading Nuggets spread. I think this game's going to be really close, okay? I think this is a game that's going to go down to the wire, and the way I envision this one going is just a game the Thunder barely edge out at the last second. There's a lot of factors in this game, and there's a lot of question marks for me in this game as well. And I think the biggest one that we immediately have to go to is Jalen Williams, right? Yes, we can talk about, Aaron Gordon's injury, which we'll talk about that in a second. But I legitimately think the biggest factor in this game is obviously Santa Clara's Jalen Williams, J-Dub, all-star Jalen Williams, and how he's going to play in this Game 6. Because if Jalen Williams has another game, in this Game 7, because if Jalen Williams has another game like Game 6, where he goes 3 for 16 from the field, 0 for 4 from the three-point line, and where he's missing dunks and only scoring 6 points, I get it the 10 assists, but that doesn't cut it. If he's having a game like that, the Nuggets are probably going to win. Probably. I mean, it would take we would need a great effort out of Lou Dort. We need a better shooting night out of him, a better shooting night out of Chet Holmgren. Yeah, I know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be there. I know SGA is going to have a great night because it's very rare where the guy doesn't. He's getting doubled the entire basketball game. He's finding ways to score 30-plus points, and he's still a plus defender as well. On top of that, I mean, in Game 6, they didn't allow the guy to play any defense in the second quarter because they hit him with 4 fouls in the span of 8 minutes. So, and I doubt, again, I think the referees will be more lenient, obviously, in a Game 7. That's just usually how basketball works, or at least the NBA works. But I think the biggest factor in this game is what will Jalen Williams be? And if he's not at his best, okay, what do we get out of Lou Dort? What do we get out of Chet? What do we get out of Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, right? Those guys are all going to need to step up if J-Dub isn't that guy. And that's what my problem has been recently with the Thunder and why I've now switched my pick of NBA champion to the Indiana Pacers. It's just that you double SGA. Okay, there's only so much the guy can do. He's still putting up 30 points a game right now in the playoffs. But you double him, you take away the number one scoring option in the NBA at times, and you're going to leave a guy like J-Dub open. You're going to leave a Chet open. You're going to leave Lou Dort open. If those guys aren't there to consistently hit threes or consistently hit their wide open shots, the Thunder aren't going to win the championship this year. That's why they need to get a true number 2. I've seen rumblings about Devin Booker. I highly doubt that's going to happen. I think the more likely scenario is obviously a Kevin Durant return here to Oklahoma City. But that's the biggest factor in this game, I think, is J-Dub. The second biggest factor is Aaron Gordon. Will Aaron Gordon play? Right, yesterday it came out he's dealing with the hamstring injury that he suffered at the end of game number 6. I thought initially when that report from Shams came out that it meant, okay, Gordon's definitely not going to play. But then recently, this morning, we saw a report that he's going to be a game-time decision. Now, at what capacity will Aaron Gordon be playing at tomorrow? Will this be an OG Anunoby situation where, okay, he's playing Game 7, but he's hobbling and he can barely run and he's really just sitting in the corner waiting to shoot? Or will Aaron Gordon fully be at 100%? Well, I can say one thing, he's not going to be at 100%. If he plays, I think it is going to look like OG Anunoby. I'm just going to be honest. It's just going to be one of those games where he's trying to tough it out. If he doesn't play, expect Julian Strawther to start. I'm serious. I think that's probably the guy they will look to in the starting lineup. Strawther was averaging, 4 points, 3 points a game in this postseason. And then in Game 6, he comes on the court, goes 3 for 4 from the three-point line, scores 15 points, and ultimately is that guy to put the Nuggets over the top in that do-or-die game number 6. So I think Gordon's going to give it a go. It's a Game 7, right? Season on the line. I don't think he's going to be all that effective, though. Right? It's the same thing I mentioned with the Cavaliers with Darius Garland. It was like, all right, if Garland plays, great, But a player like Darius Garland needs to be 100% with a toe injury. A player like Aaron Gordon needs to be at 100% with the hamstring because, I mean, obviously, you know, Aaron Gordon's entire game is athleticism. He's able to stay in that dunker position. He's able to crash boards and, you know, hit his three-point shots as well. I just don't feel like we're going to get a great Aaron Gordon game if he does play. So if he doesn't, then obviously expect Julian Strawther. Now, can Strawther do what he did in Game 6? I'm just going to be honest, no. That kind of feels like some Nuggets Denver voodoo magic. You know, the horse from the airport, kind of that. I think that's just like, you know, the voodoo that goes on, the dark magic that goes on in Denver, Colorado. But expect Jokic to be himself and put up great numbers, obviously. Game 6, 29 points, 14 boards, 8 assists. I'm just expect another night like that out of Jokic. Expect the Nuggets to get to the free throw line at will. You know, it's something that doesn't really get talked about a lot, is that the Nuggets get to the free throw line all the time. And they get the benefit of the doubt of a lot of calls. I mean, just look at the free throw discrepancy in Game 6. The Nuggets outshoot the Thunder at the charity stripe 32-16. So double the amount of free throws were shot by the Nuggets compared to OKC. And obviously, Jokic gets to the line 12 times, right? Murray's on the free throw line 6 times as well. And again, it all starts with Jokic, who, I hate to say this, but guys, watching Jokic play basketball, he's a great basketball player, but my goodness, does that man flop? It is crazy. I mean, you can barely touch Jokic, and he's throwing both of his arms in the air and, you know, bitching and complaining about everything, all right? Again, phenomenal talent. I'm never going to deny that. I just feel like he's kind of annoying to watch sometimes. You know, when he's hitting his circus shots, you know, and if you don't, you know, if you don't have a, if you're not, you know, betting on one team or the other, and if you watch Jokic hit a circus shot over the top of his head, I mean, cool, that's great, it's fun to watch. But man, is he annoying sometimes with the foul baiting. And I get it, that's part of the game, and sure, you can say the same things with SGA. SGA doesn't get the same calls in the postseason, let's just be honest. All right, SGA gets nowhere near the amount of respect that he did in the regular season, now in the playoffs. So expect Jokic to be great. Michael Porter Jr., I don't care. He hit 2 big threes in Game 6. He's still shooting under 20% from the three-point line in the playoffs. He's not reliable. He's kind of unplayable at times. Aaron Gordon, again, don't know what he's going to be. Christian Braun had a much better Game 6. He was kind of just there the entire series. Game 6, he goes 8 for 14 from the field, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 23 points. And Jamal Murray, of course, a historic playoff riser. He shows up in moments, obviously 42 minutes in game number 6, and 25 points as well. Again, in the end, I think the Nuggets are going to keep this game very close, right? I mean, everything that we've seen in the last couple games of the series should tell us that this game will be very competitive, right? I mean, this line of 8.5 has been covered by the Nuggets in every single game, with the exception of game number 2 in OKC, in which that was the only blowout of the series. OKC scored 149 points. They won the game 149-106, okay? Does feel like a somewhat of an outlier at this point, right? Just because, you know, the Nuggets have been very competitive with OKC all series long. But I do think the Aaron Gordon injury does sway things a lot in the favor of the Thunder. You just take away, you know, the Nuggets' third best option, which, again, sure, he's only their third best guy. But now who's their number 3? Let's just be honest. Is it Christian Braun? Is it potentially Julian Strawther if he starts? I can't rely on MPJ to be a true number 3. And you can say the same thing about the Thunder, by the way. I mean, again, Shea has no help. You know, I think we dictated a lot of the regular season by saying, you know, this OKC team, you know, they're just a phenomenal group. This entire team from, you know, man 1 to man 15, you know, they're loaded, they're deep. I'm just going to be honest, I just don't think that's the case anymore. And I think, again, we kind of got fooled by, you know, the entire squad. It's really just SGA, let's just be honest. At least in the clutch and at least in the postseason, it has just been Shea. It has been. Shea's been the guy for this team, and I think SGA makes this team great. Again, I don't want to hate on J-Dub. I think J-Dub's going to be a very good player in this league for a very long time. I think, again, it's still a little too early for J-Dub to be a true number 2. Again, that's why I keep mentioning Kevin Durant with OKC in a return next season. But the reason why this team's so good, the reason why this team won 68 games, is because of their defense. And sure, a lot of teams in the NBA don't play defense. That's very true. They're a young core, they're hungry, but at the same time, it is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Jalen Williams is not an all-star without SGA because of the respect SGA commands on the court, because of the doubles like the Nuggets have been putting on him the entire series as well. But again, I go back to Aaron Gordon not playing. I look at Denver. Okay, they had a great shooting night in Game 6. They got to the line a lot. That will change in Oklahoma City, though. It just will. Their foul calls will change. I don't think they're going to be that hot from the three-point line. They did lose in a Game 7 in the same exact scenario last year. I know, again, that game was in Denver last year, but they lost to Minnesota in a game number 7. And sure, the Thunder lost in the second round as well. They lost in 6 games to Luka and Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks. But I do feel like Shea's better now. I feel like this Thunder team, I think they just got to hit their shots. Is really the simplest way I can put it. They can't go ice cold from the three-point line past in the second half. That's what happened in Game 6. Something that doesn't get talked about either is the Thunder are up 12 points with about 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Okay, it's looking like OKC's just going to pull away and they're going to win this series in 6 games. SGA gets called for his 3rd and 4th fouls. The 4th, which was an absolute flop by Nikola Jokic. Shea comes out the game. The Nuggets immediately go on a 12-0 run. Lou Dort does hit a 3 to close the half, so OKC goes into half up 3. My goodness, was that a momentum swing. You take Shea off the court for the final 2 minutes. You bring back the Nuggets. They feel, okay, rejuvenated to the point where, all right, the MVP's off the court now, which, by the way, the NBA still has not announced the most valuable player, and it is May 18th. What are we doing? That's a huge momentum shift. And I just don't think, again, those momentum shifts are going to happen in Oklahoma. I don't know where the whistle's going to be at. I don't know who's going to get the more favorable calls tonight. But I do feel like, again, the game being in Oklahoma makes all the difference here. And I do expect the Thunder to win. But I do think this is going to be a close game. I feel like Denver is going to hit some of their big shots. I know Jamal Murray is going to show up. I know Jokic is going to show up. I don't think Russ will. I'm just going to be honest, guys. Russ is kind of unplayable at times. Same could be said about Michael Porter Jr. Peyton Watson, I mean, they don't have a reliable guy off their bench other than Strother, but if Gordon doesn't play, then Strother probably enters the starting lineup. Then your bench is just Peyton Watson and Russell Westbrook, and there is no reliability over there. So I think all things considered, I'm taking OKC. I just don't expect Denver to be as good shooting-wise tonight, and I think, again, Shea just has one of those games, and I'm hoping Jalen Williams does finally show up. How will you respond, J-Dub? The entire NBA world is going at you, all right? You are the target of hate. You are kind of the reason why the Thunder are not already in the conference finals. Go show up, hit some big threes like you did in game number 5 at home, and win the series and move on to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, where I'll be honest, I think the Thunder beat the Timberwolves in 5 games. I think the Nuggets would beat the Timberwolves in either 6 or 7. It's just how I see it for now. Again, that can all change, but we'll get to that and more coming up in 2 days for our next NBA Best Bets. Actually, we'll do that video on Monday night, just like how I do this video on Saturday night. We'll be back for Game 1, Nuggets versus Timberwolves, or Thunder versus Timberwolves, on Monday night here on the channel. Again, make sure to join us for that. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with the pick. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, and make sure to join us tomorrow for our MLB Best Bets as well. Again, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba forever.